So good morning to you all. So in today's class, we'll discuss Indian climate, soil and vegetation, right? Vegetation or forest that you say. You know, Indian climate is largely tropical. It is largely called the monsoonal climate. So climate soils and forests of India, right? So you know that Indian climate is largely tropical, though in some areas it is subtropical also. It is temperate also, and it is also alpine. Largely, these four types of climate types are found in India, right? You know that Indian climate is also known as monsoonal climate. It is monsoonal. And you know that there is a wet season, there is a dry season. Because of this monsoonal climate, there is a wet season and there is a dry season. And because of these factors like tropical, subtropical, temperate and alpine type of climate and monsoonal, its monsoonal feature, means rainfall is largely monsoonal type. And this tropical, subtropical, temperate, alpine, that denotes temperature. This denotes precipitation. So climate is what? The combination of both. Largely it is a combination of temperature and precipitation. Okay. So how temperature changes from tropical to subtropical to temperate and to alpine? Can you tell me how it changes in this way? What is the deciding factor? Just altitude. Just altitude. As you go higher in altitude, the climate becomes subtropical, then temperate, then alpine. Means as you go in mountainous areas. Okay, largely means up to the height of, like this is a mountain, up to the height of 900 meters. Largely it is tropical. As you go higher in altitude, it will become subtropical. As you go even higher, it will become temperate. Then alpine. Right? So this is the sequence as you go higher in altitude. Means in mountainous areas, like in Himalayan zone, or in Western Ghats, or in your southern mountainous areas, like your Anamalai, Palni, Kardamam Hills area, the hilly area in and around Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Because those areas have that much high altitude. Not every mountainous zone in India has that much altitude that they can attain all the climatic types. Means very few areas. In south, that area in and around Palni, Kardamam, Nilgiri Hills, where your Shola forests are found, Shola vegetation. There, the vegetation is known as Shola. That is like a mixture of subtropical and temperate type forests, right? Shola vegetation. It is also classified as wet temperate forests. That Shola vegetation is also known as wet temperate forests, right? And in your Himalayan areas, such type of classification can be formed. And tropical climate can be found up to this height in any part of India. Means from tropical to subtropical, it happens only with altitude. Okay, largely Indian climatic type is tropical. But as you go higher in altitude, it will become subtropical, then temperate, then alpine. This is the sequence. Yeah, that is montane climate type, you can say. Means this climatic variation you can find only in mountainous, means in higher altitude areas only, right? And climate is the main deciding factor for soils and for forests. You know it? First, for soils. Soil is a function of, you can say, climate, organic material, relief, you can say altitude, slope, parent rock, and time. Yes. Vegetation is organic material, right? Means not only vegetation, even dead organisms, dead animals, dead vegetation, dead animals, they all are included in this organic material. So climate is the first and foremost deciding factor in soil formation. Soil formation is known as pedogenesis. It is called pedogenesis. Soil forming process, right? So for pedogenesis, climate, organic material, that is your dead remains of animals and vegetation. Relief means if there is a slope, there will be a different development of soil in this area. If this is a plain, the development of soil will be in a different type. Parent rock material, that is also very important. You know that there are granitic rocks, granitic and gneissic rocks. There develops mainly two types of rocks, soils, red or laterite. Means this particular rock type is developing a particular type of soil in India. Granitic and gneissic rocks. You know that igneous lava, such type of material, after solidification and then further it develops as a black soil, right? Wherever you will find such type of rocks, yes, in the Trap, in around Rajmahal Hills, in a very restricted area, in Malwa, there you can find such type of soils. Means parent rock material is an important deciding factor, right? So relief, parent rock material, this is also important. It decides the humus and other minerals also in the soil. And time is also important because with the passage of time, the different horizons of soil, means soil is divided into many layers. So this layered development, this layered development of soil needs time. Achha. So It needs time. Hmm. You know that what is this? What is soil? Simplest definition of soil?
Is eroded material of rock.
Yeah, you can say that soil is the weathered. Basically, it is weathered. Eroded also, but it is the weathered rock material. Weathered rock after uh, duration undergoes this weathered rock material is technically called regolith. It is called regolith. So regolith is the parent material out of which soil will be formed. Okay. So weathered rock after a duration undergoes pedogenesis. Pedogenesis means soil forming process. It includes many type of procedures, like mixing of those dead remains that develops humus in the soil with the infiltration of water. Different alkaline minerals go up and down in the different horizons, and different horizons develop in that way. So that is all the pedogenesis process. So weathered rock material after a duration undergoes pedogenesis to produce soil. To produce soil. That is true soil. So, you know that climate is the main energy providing factor hmm, in the soil development. In the same way, and in India, particularly in India, there are two types of soils: climatic, means largely they are determined by climatic factors, and edaphic. Edaphic means related to soil. Uh, it is not soil, it is vegetation. I am talking about forest. Means forests are mainly of two types. Means they are, means in that way all are connected. Means climate is deciding the soil. Here climate is deciding the forest types. Forest. Okay. Means here climate is deciding the soil type. Forest is also being decided by climate, and it is also decided by edaphic or soil. Means this is deciding this, and in that way this is deciding this. Means all are related with each other. Means if you understand the climatic factor of a region and what type of soil is there, you will understand what type of forest will be there. So your first basic requirement is to know about the soil and to know about the climate. To know about the soil, you need to know the climate and basically rock type. These two factors are important for soil type. Then climate and soil, they both decide the forest type. So you can make this diagram. Climate and rock type are deciding the soil type. Then climate type and soil type is deciding the forest type. In a way, forest and soil, they are connected together. So that is why we are studying this in an integrated manner. You do not study this like forest of India आपने अलग से पढ़ लिया, soils of India अलग से पढ़ लिया, climate अलग से पढ़ रहे हैं. You don't know the interconnections. So first of all, we have understood that climate is of tropical, subtropical, temperate, and alpine. Alpine is in the highest altitude. So our, and on the other hand, there is monsoonal rainfall. They are two. They are two. It is largely what? Temperature. It is largely precipitation. There are two factors, right? Temperature and precipitation, which will decide the climate of a region. You know how monsoon arises in India? Like this is India. Monsoon strikes this part. That is your Western Ghats, and a branch of monsoon enters from here. Here are your Garo, Khasi, Jaintia, and other mountain ranges. Here is your Himalayas. This is called the Arabian Sea branch. Arabian Sea branch of. We are talking about this monsoon. This is called summertime monsoon. Also called southwest monsoon. Because it is coming from the southwest side. What are the factors of the origin of monsoon? How does it originate? Because of the differential heating of land and water. Largely, they are originating because of that factor, but other factors also that I discussed in jet stream topic. That here is a plateau, Tibetan plateau. In summer, it becomes very heated, and air currents rise in this manner. At the level of troposphere, there arises this meandering jet stream arises at the level of troposphere because of the heating of this summer heating of this Tibetan high, where it ends. It ends just above the Mascarene Island. Here is an island that is known as Mascarene Island. So there it makes, means like this is Tibet. Okay, air currents are rising, then a jet stream, and this jet stream is known as tropical easterly jet. Tropical easterly jet. Other jet streams are called westerly jet. They flow from west to east, but this is a special and temporary type of jet stream. This is not a permanent jet stream. And this is formed only in summer season and only in this particular zone. So because of this summer heating, this jet stream arises and it ends here. Here at this, here is an island that is known as Mascarene in the southern Indian Ocean. You will see, locate this just nearby Madagascar, just off the coast of Madagascar, right? Where it ends, there are descending air currents from it. Here the air currents were ascending and they were making a jet stream. Here, at the end of it, means at the ending of it, there is a descending limb from this air current. Oh, sorry, from this tropical easterly jet. Because of these descending winds, there will be an intensification of high pressure at the sea surface level. Okay, so this high and this low, because this is the land and this is the summer season, there will be a greater differential of pressure. And that is the real push for this southwest monsoon. Southwest monsoon is not, it is not arising only due to differential heating of land and water. There is a role of this tropical easterly jet also. Then this high, and here at the Indian subcontinent, it becomes low. So from this high to this low, there will be a flow of monsoon like this. Means from this high to this low, there is a flow of monsoonal winds like this. Right? So this is called the jet stream concept of Indian monsoon. Right? This is the modern concept of Indian monsoon. That monsoon concept is of differential heating of land and water is an archaic one. That is an old concept. This is the modern concept. Means if any question is asked about the modern theory of Indian monsoon, you can write down this jet stream theory. Okay, that along with that differential heating and cooling of land water contrast, there is a role of this tropical easterly jet also. So this is the Arabian Sea branch and this is Bay of Bengal branch. As it enters, you know that all these areas which are on this, on this west part of the Western Ghats, you know that this will be the windward side, windward, and this is leeward. Leeward is also called rain shadow. So on the western sides of on the western part of the Western Ghats, and here in Andaman Nicobar Islands, and here in this area, because here is also role of mountains in causing rainfall. That is why largely all the rainfall in India is orographic type, because there is a role of mountain. Because due to the mountain only, they are rising, and as they are rising, there is a process of condensation and then precipitation. You know that when relative humidity becomes 100%, it is the dew point, and after dew point, a further fall in temperature will lead to precipitation. Right? So this is the process, and you can easily understand that as these monsoonal winds will go towards the interior of this peninsular part, all the rains have been occurred here. That is why interior parts will receive scanty rainfall or less amount of rainfall. That is why this part is also a semi-arid type. This part. This is arid and semi-arid part. This Thar desert, just west of Aravallis. This interior land is also semi-arid. Means it is also having least of amount of rainfall in India. No, this is the you can say the like Vidarbha area of Maharashtra, and all these, not only means all the interior lands, not only Karnataka, some of the areas of Telangana, some of the areas of Maharashtra and adjoining areas. Yeah, means interior lands. In monsoonal type of rainfall, interior parts in any type of any type of continent, interior parts will have less amount of rainfall. Only the fringe areas having mountains, they will have more rainfall. Here also means as in this southern part, in this peninsular part, the rainfall amount will decrease from west to east. As you go from west to east, the rainfall amount will decrease. Here in this part, in the northern part, the rainfall amount will decrease from east to west, because this branch is entering from this side. Maximum rainfall will occur here, and as they will rise on the southern slopes of Himalayas, they will cause rainfall on this part. That is why this part is Tarai. Tarai means having more humidity. just south of 𝐶𝐶, is the zone of Tarai. That is because of two reasons. Because of the descent of those Himalayan rivers, though they increase the humidity in those areas, and apart from that, because of the rainfall that is being caused on the southern slopes of the Himalayan areas. As they will rise in the in the Shivalik zone, the air will rise in that way. It will cause rainfall, and the rainfall amount will decrease as they will go further in the interior part. That is why you see that this part of Haryana, in and around Delhi, this part, and even in western UP, there is less amount of rainfall than on the eastern part. That is why paddy cultivation is also mostly concentrated in this eastern part, not in this western part. Western part is having more wheat cultivation, because there is less amount of rainfall, less amount of humidity, and there is a drop in temperature, because this zone belongs to, it is nearer to Himalayan zone, as well as it is far off this equator. Means these areas are nearer to equator. They are lower in latitudes. As you go higher in latitude, temperature will drop. So that is that decides the pattern of crops there. You know that wheat cultivation requires less precipitation and less temperature, both, right? Paddy cultivation requires more precipitation and more temperature. So that is why it is here more concentration of wheats, here more concentration of paddy. Paddy is also grown all along this coast also, eastern coast. Okay, just because there is the availability of alluvial soil, and peat soil. Peat soil is also helping paddy cultivation, because that is a marshy soil that has more humidity, humidity retention capacity, that has nitrogenous minerals also. That peat soil or marshy soil is the only soil in India having more nitrogenous material. All the other soils, they have to be added fertilizers or nitrogenous material. Alluvial soils are rich in phosphorus also. They are rich in potash also. So in alluvial soils, some of the fertilizers have to be added. But in peat soils, there is always a good amount of nitrogenous material. So these factors are also deciding the crop patterns in different parts of India, right? So in that way, these two branches of monsoon, they decide the precipitation zones in India. Here precipitation zones will be like that. Here more amount means this area and this area. Now northeast, this area, Western Ghats, mostly western parts of Western Ghats and Andaman Nicobar. They are the areas of having highest rainfall in India, around 250 to 300 centimeter rainfall. As you go in the interior part, here from here to here and here to here, the rainfall amount will decrease from 250 to 200, then 150, and in this part, very scanty rainfall, about 50 to 70 centimeters rainfall. Okay, in this interior part, around 50 to 100 centimeter rainfall. Right? So that decides the vegetation will go from from evergreen to moist deciduous to dry deciduous to thorny vegetation. Means that amount of rainfall is deciding the whether trees will drop their leaves or not. You know that forests are of the types like tropical evergreen, tropical wet evergreen, tropical semi-evergreen, dry evergreen. So that moist, wet, semi, those terms are applying what? The rainfall amount, the availability of moisture for tree leaves, for tree roots, right? So as the availability of moisture decreases, they are tending more towards more amount of leaf fall, that they are becoming deciduous in nature. In a particular dry season, they will drop their leaves. They will become dry. When again, at the advent of monsoonal rainfall, again leaves will be there. And evergreen also is of two types. One evergreen is broadleaf evergreen, and one evergreen is of needle leaf evergreen. In high mountainous areas, you see that there are needle leaves, needle type of leaves. They are not broadleaf only. There are broadleaf forests also, but some of the forests like pine, its leaf structure is of this type, needle leaf. Because so that less amount of transpiration, they can attain less amount of transpiration by converting themselves into needle leaf. And one more role the needle leaf plays in higher mountainous zones, you know that precipitation is always in the form of snowfall. So if there is a broadleaf, the snow or frost will occur there, and that will damage the whole structure of plant. So what occurs with the needle leaf? There is very least retention of frost over there. It will not stay there. It will drop down through the needle leaves. So they do both roles. Very less amount of transpiration and least stay of frost. In that way, they become evergreen in nature. That is why pine type of forest, needle leaf forest, they are evergreen. They are not deciduous in nature, right? So this is the basic difference that you have to understand. It is not that any factual type of questions will be asked. I think there will be more conceptual questions in nature. Okay. So this is your climate or monsoon. Okay. Then come to this topic of soils of India. Soils of India. Yeah, monsoon also returns. Let us discuss that also. Means after there are basically 4 seasons. 4 seasons. Winter, summer, the season of rainfall, rainy season you can say, and the season of retreating monsoon. Basically 4 seasons are there. After winter, summer comes. As summer comes, there are conditions of this southwest monsoon. After heating of this Tibetan high and heating of this land in the 3 months of summer season, there occurs the condition of rainfall, means monsoonal rainfall, this southwest monsoonal rainfall. So that is the rainy season. Rainy season is the southwest monsoon, and this retreating monsoon is the means when the conditions are off, when the conditions are खत्म हो गया condition, धीरे धीरे करके क्या होगा, this high low differential as जैसे जैसे गर्मी खत्म होगी, जैसे जैसे जो सन का मूवमेंट है ये साउथवर्ड्स होगा, तो क्या होगा, दिस लैंड सी कंट्रास्ट ऑफ ये खत्म हो जाएगा. Here is low pressure, here is high pressure. Means summer is playing its role even in this season. This season is because of this season, means summer heating. That is why you feel summers for 6 months. Summer is not only 3 months, summer is 6 months. अभी तो हम लोग को लगता है कि यार ह्यूमिडिटी वो उधर अगस्त सितंबर तक बनी रहती है. तो ह्यूमिडिटी मींस ह्यूमिडिटी विद हाई टेम्परेचर. तो जब तक हाई टेम्परेचर रहेगा तभी तक ह्यूमिडिटी रहेगी. As soon as temperature is gone, as soon as the sun is on its farthest location from the Indian subcontinent, the conditions are withered away. Then retreating monsoon. Retreating monsoon means now the conditions are opposed in nature. Now here will become the high pressure and here low pressure because of you can say that the advent of winter. Means winter का आना शुरू हो गया. Winter is not to means temperature का कम होना शुरू हो गया. You can say as temperature drops down after September, क्या होगा कि ये पोजीशन एकदम डिफरेंट हो जाएगा, इधर हाई हो जाएगा और इधर लो हो जाएगा आफ्टर सितंबर. देन व्हाट हैपेंस फ्रॉम दिस हाई टू लो, दे विल and there will be a deflection as per the Ferrell's rule, deflection towards right. That is why this Coromandel coast will receive rainfall from retreating monsoon, because now they will strike against this coast while retreating. While they were going this side, they were just parallel to the Coromandel coast. That is why Coromandel coast receives rainfall mostly in retreating monsoon season, or you can say winter season. Winter means the drop in temperature. Just means after retreating monsoon, when monsoon is totally over, it will be totally winter. During winter, what happens? During winter, वो जो आपका वेस्टर्ली जेट है, that comes over the Mediterranean Sea. दो वेस्टर्ली जेट बताए थे ना, एक पोलर फ्रंट जेट और दूसरा सब ट्रॉपिकल वेस्टर्ली जेट. So that subtropical westerly jet has its position just over the Mediterranean Sea, and it has many depressions with it. Polar easterlies are at surface level, yaar. Jet streams, polar front jet at the tropopause level, I am talking about them. तो तीन आपको बताया था ना, 3 types of jet streams. One is polar front jet, second is subtropical westerly jet, of which position is above the Mediterranean Sea. And third one is this tropical easterly jet. This is a temporary type of jet stream. And polar front jet and subtropical westerly jet, they are permanent jet streams. They are coming from west towards the east. It is from east to west. That is, it is tropical easterly jet, because it is going from east towards the west. Okay. So as winter comes, the position of means the position of jet streams also shifts with the shifting of sun's location. Means up to now there was no positioning of that subtropical westerly jet over this region, means over Delhi, over northern parts of India. Okay, as winter will arise with the shifting of all the belts, that makes its position above India. Means up to now it was beyond India, it was in the trans-Indian region, you can say above Pamirs. Okay, now it has been shifted towards the south with the shifting of the sun towards the south. That subtropical westerly jet has also shifted towards the south, and now it is positioned over India in the northern part only. Not only all the parts, only northern parts are under its coverage, and it has many smaller depressions with it. Means depressions means low pressure zones, and those low pressure zones, they occur in frequencies. It's like 2 or 3 depressions came today, and with them, as they are low pressure zones, they will suck the air here towards it. They are going like this. As they come just over Delhi, it is sucking the wind from here to here, because this is a low pressure zone over here. As wind will rise, condensation will occur. That is why that rainfall during winter season, that is caused by those depressions brought by the subtropical westerly jet. That is a that is a different thing. High pressure is over land at the surface level. This low pressure is here at the level of jet stream, at the level of tropopause. Understood? Means those jet stream are having a particular depression with them at this level, not at surface level. Surface level it is high, so it is high and it is low. Now the movement will be like that, from high to low. Okay, so that is why that rainfall is very, you can say, of very short duration, and because of the vertical rise of the air, that is heavy also. You feel that in sometimes during winters, you will have a 15 minutes to 30 minutes high rainfall अचानक से, and अचानक से वो खत्म भी हो जाती है. मानसून की तरह it is not of long duration, because होता क्या है कि that depression came, and because it is moving across India. So as soon as it moves here is no condition of low pressure, and the winds are not rising, और rainfall खत्म हो जाती है. Understood? So this is the condition. So this is the 4 seasons, and you know that during summer season there are tropical monsoon, tropical cyclones here. some of the rainfall is also caused by that tropical cyclones, and that rainfall will be of the type of frontal rain. Convectional. Convectional means during summer with those cyclone, that is also called cyclonic rainfall, but more accurately it should be called convectional, brought down by those tropical cyclones. Because cyclonic rainfall, you can say this cyclonic rainfall, but sometimes it connotes frontal, and there is no situation of frontal rainfall in India. Frontal rainfall कहाँ होती है? In the, you can say in the mid latitudes, where there is a convergence of polar easterlies and westerlies. Those zones are 50 to 60 degree north as well as in south. Means in those mid latitude areas there is convergence of tropical polar easterlies and westerlies. Where they converge, there are fronts, and because of those frontogenesis, there occurs frontal rainfall. It is not frontal, it is cyclonic. At most you can say cyclonic, but the rainfall type is convectional, right? So India receives orographic type of rainfall, convectional type of rainfall, but not frontal. Okay, that rainfall also, because of this, during winters, because of this low pressure, that rainfall is of the type of, that is also largely convectional. That is the type of convectional rise, right? Internal India में कुछ नहीं होगा, because it has already lost its humidity. हो चुका है वहां तो. Means while they were going, they were picking the moisture from here, and they have released all the moisture over here. Now only the dry wind will retreat. While coming here, they are again gaining the moisture, and that is why when they are falling here, they are releasing that moisture in Coromandel coast. तो यहाँ पे हो पा रही है इसलिए because they are coming over from here. While coming over from here, they are again picking up the moisture, and the only coast that they are finding, as well as here in these island areas, that is why this Andaman Nicobar has a high rainfall amount throughout the year. While from this or from this, it is getting always rainfall. Understood? That is why island areas और कभी भी वहां पे बारिश हो जाती है, तो वहां पे बारिश की कंडीशंस कई तरीके से होती है. एक तो आसपास सारा मॉइस्चर अवेलेबल है, देयर आर मोर कंडीशंस ऑफ क्लाउड फॉर्मेशन, साल्ट भी अवेलेबल है. क्लाउड फॉर्मेशन के लिए वो जो हाइग्रोस्कोपिक न्यूक्लियस चाहिए वो भी वहां पे अवेलेबल है, ऑलवेज देयर. तो दैट इज वाई जो ओशनिक एरियाज हैं वहां पे कभी भी रेनफॉल हो सकती है, राइट? So soils of India, largely there are 8 types of soils. 8 types of soils. This division has been given by ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. What are these 8 types? You can say red soil, laterite soil. Red and yellow. Yes. Red yellow soil. It is also called red yellow soil. Okay. In some parts, it is of yellow color. Black soil, alluvial soil, mountain or forest soil. Then saline and alkaline soil. कितना हो गया? Desert or arid soil. Desert or arid soil. Yes, and one more is peat soil, peaty soil. So these 8 types of soil. How this and this, they develop on the same type of rocks. Granitic and gneissic rocks. There is only a slight difference. They are found in high rainfall areas. Above, no. This will be found in high rainfall areas above 250 centimeter. Wherever the rainfall is around 200 to 250 centimeter, this type of red soil will develop. That also depends on the some of the differences in rock types, like it will become from red to yellow. Basically, it has iron oxide. Because of that iron oxides, its color is red to yellow. Right? This lateritic soil has more amount of aluminium in its means higher horizons, the horizons which are in the, like this is the soil. So in the higher horizons, in the higher layers, more amount of aluminium will be found. What happens that because of the high rainfall, because rainfall amount is much more, the basic materials and other materials, even some of the humus, they go to lower layers. This is called leaching. Yes. So because of leaching, because of more leaching effect, all the material goes to lower horizons. But the upper horizons, then in upper horizons, alumina remains. That is why these are the same areas where you will find bauxite. Then black soil, it develops with the lava, igneous material. Means all the processes of weathering, erosion, and all that, they are occurring. Means in the soil forming process, all other processes are going on. Like this process of leaching, they are there. So black soil, it is more lava generated, more igneous material soil. It has some elements, some compounds called titaniferous, magnetite. So because of this compound, it is of black color. Humus is less. Humus is very less. So even with less amount of humus, it is of black color only due to this compound. Right? It develops cracks during dry season. That is why it is also called self-plowed soil. Yeah, self-plowed soil. It needs less plowing. This is your alluvial soil. It has potash. It has phosphorus. But humus is less. Humus less. Nitrogenous material is less. Right? Nitrogen is deficient in almost all the soil of India. Means you can make a concept like this. Only PT soil, they have nitrogenous materials. Then this mountain or forest soil, you know that alluvial soils, where are they found? Yeah, in Great Plains, in coastal plains, coastal alluvium, in the form of coastal alluvium, coastal plains, in the Indo-Gangetic plain, and in the this black soil largely this is found in Deccan Trap, Deccan region, Malwa, Rajmahal, wherever igneous activity has been. Laterite soil and red soil in almost all the peninsular India and northeastern India. But means red soil in almost All the remaining areas of peninsular India, means wherever any other type of soil is not found, there will be red soil always. And in and around Aravallis also. In Rajasthan, in and around Aravalli, also this red yellow soil is found, right? Laterite soil in the same region, but wherever the amount of rainfall is much more, and largely they are highland areas. It has a development under alternate dry and wet conditions. Alternate dry wet conditions. It needs alternate dry and wet conditions for its development. Laterite. ये भी लिख लो उसका. For development of lateritic type of soil, alternate dry and wet conditions are needed. So in the northeast, largely this type of soil is found in all the major areas of peninsular India, but in the highlands of these, means in those areas, like this is a region of red soil. If this particular area is having alternate dry wet conditions and it is a high rainfall zone, under this red zone, this will develop a lateritic zone, right? So in this way, means the rock type, the structure is the same. ब्लैक सॉइल हो गया, एलुवियल सॉइल हो गया. एलुवियल सॉइल फिर वो जो बांगर खादर बताया था ना, एक ओल्डर एलुवियम, न्यूअर एलुवियम, so that is the type of alluvial soil. In mountainous areas there is very less development of soil horizons. That is why mountainous soil is largely acidic in nature and less horizon development, because of this slope. What happens, that leaching or development of soil needs leaching. Development of soil horizons needs leaching. It needs infiltration of water, but because of this highland area, the infiltration of water is least and the overland flow of water is the most. That is why very less amount of water infiltrates and the less horizon development for that region. So जो soil forming process है वो यहाँ पे बहुत ही slow है. And they are also brownish. Brownish ये भी होते हैं, brownish ये भी होते हैं. Reddish to brownish, their color. This is a problematic soil of India. Saline and alkaline soils. What happens in the upper horizons? There a reverse process of leaching initiates. In leaching, water goes from upper layers to lower layers. This is leaching. There is a reverse process of leaching in which capillary action is, this is the leaching under the force of gravity. Here is capillary action. You know capillary action? It is against the gravity. वो जैसे any other example of capillary action? आप दीपक जलाते हो, उसमें कैसे जाता है वो ऑयल, कैसे जाता है ऊपर विक में? थ्रू कैपिलरी एक्शन. मैंग्रोव्स. हाँ वो समझ में आएगा कि आप ये नहीं करते हैं. मैं वो कैपिलरी एक्शन का मैंग्रोव्स एग्जांपल. वाटर ऐसे करके ऊपर जा रहे हैं. तो कैपिलरी एक्शन, technically it is called calcification. In the conditions of soil where there is arid and semi-arid climate, arid and semi-arid climate, this type of capillary action starts. This is called calcification. So what happens? The salts and minerals which were in lower horizons, they come to here, right? That is why the upper horizons becomes salty, more accumulation of salts and alkaline minerals in the upper horizons. It becomes a saline and alkaline soil. It makes like a hard pan here. And if you irrigate it more, like here is canal irrigation and water is always stagnated over here. तो वाटर स्टैग्नेशन से क्या होगा, यहाँ पे जो वाटर लेवल है, ये वाटर लेवल जितना नीचे होगा, वो कैपिलरी रिएक्शन स्लो होगा. बट एज सुन एज यू एक्यूमुलेट वाटर ओवर हियर, वाटर लेवल विल इंक्रीज, कैपिलरी रिएक्शन और स्ट्रांग हो जाता है. नहीं भाई, मुझे भी नहीं ज्यादा समझ में आया. मतलब मैंग्रोव्स का मैं वो एग्जांपल नहीं समझ. नहीं, मैंग्रोव यहाँ नहीं होते हैं. वो आई थिंक वो प्रोसीजर कुछ बता रहा था कि मैंग्रोव्स में कुछ ऐसे दे पिक. नहीं, मैंग्रोव्स एक्चुअली फॉर मैंग्रोव्स देयर इज नीडेड marshland, right? And deficiency of oxygen in the upper horizons. Means ये दलदल टाइप का होना चाहिए. यहाँ पे दलदल नहीं है. They are mostly dry soils. Only in some irrigated areas. अब यहाँ पे एक ड्राई साल्टी सॉइल है, यहाँ पे आप क्या करो कि कैनाल इरिगेशन से यहाँ पे पानी और लाके भर दो. What will happen? अब पानी यहाँ पे केवल भरा तो रहेगा नहीं. It will go under and the water table will arise. वाटर टेबल जितना हाई होगा, कैपिलरी रिएक्शन उतना ही स्ट्रांग हो जाता है. तो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट कैनाल इरिगेशन, वो प्रॉब्लम ऑफ जो साल्टी सॉइल है और बढ़ जाता है. समझ गए ना? मतलब बिकॉज दिस इज एन एरिड क्लाइमेट, कैल्सिफिकेशन वाज देयर, कैपिलरी रिएक्शन वाज देयर, एंड यू हैव डन stagnation of water over here, canal irrigation due to canal irrigation, because always they are of kacha type of canals and water always seeps through over the fields. Fields are always वहां पे पानी भरा हुआ है. That for that reason the water table arises. पानी भरा हुआ है तो water table ये क्या करेगा, राइज करेगा और स्ट्रॉन्गर कैपिलरी रिएक्शन स्ट्रॉन्ग हो जाता है और इससे स्ट्रॉन्गर कैपिलरिटी. चाहो तो लिख लो इसे, राइट? Because of that, the areas which are covered under canal irrigation, especially those Indira Gandhi canal irrigated areas, in Punjab, in western UP, that is why this problem of salty soil, this saline and alkaline soil is more concentrated in these areas because they are arid and semi-arid type of climatic regions. आप यही कैनाल इरिगेशन किसी दूसरे टाइप के क्लाइमेटिक रीजन में करोगे तो उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. इट विल नॉट रिजल्ट इन मोर सैलिनिटी. अंडरस्टूड? इसमें क्या हो रहा है कि कैपिलरी एक्शन से जो सॉल्ट्स अंडरनीथ थे वो ऊपर आ गए and there will be more accumulation of salt in the upper areas और वो और हार्ड पैन की तरह हो रहा है. It becomes a wasteland after some time. For its reclamation, gypsum is being added. Gypsum for reclamation for such type of soils, gypsum is added to the soil for reclamation so that they can reclaim the soil. They can again make the soil useful for some agriculture. And better drainage also, this will also work because The problem is because of the stagnation of water. If it is a well drained soil, if the water is not stagnated here, if it is a well drained soil, it will not develop salinity. Understood? So that is the solution for such type of soils. Then this soil, this is a arid soil having more amount of you can say sediments, loose sediments, silt and loose silt basically. Like your deserts. This soil as is found in your deserts. Then the last soil, that is peat soil. It is a marshy soil found in coastal areas, coastal deltaic zones. You can say this is the first stage of coal formation. It is also a black soil. कलर कैसा है इसका? ब्लैक ही, ब्लैकिश है. More nitrogenous material is there. Useful for paddy cultivation. और जो मैंग्रोव्स वगैरह है वो भी इसी में है. Mostly it is a oxygen deficient soil. That is why वो जो pneumatophores हैं वो बाहर आ जाते हैं, है ना? ये बोलना था, वो बाहर आ जाते हैं उल्टे. वो हवा में आ जाते हैं, है ना? क्यों? क्योंकि अंदर ऑक्सीजन कम है. सो बिकॉज जो रूट्स हैं दे नीड ऑक्सीजन, तो टू गेन दैट ऑक्सीजन वो ऊपर एयर रूट्स बन जाते हैं. दे आर कॉल्ड एयर रूट्स, न्यूमेटोफोर्स. सो दिस वाज ऑल फॉर योर soils.
Introducing the Prelims Target course and Prelims test series at ProdEgyIAS. Designed for UPSC Prelims 2026, this comprehensive program offers in-depth classes on history, geography, science and tech, environment, polity and governance, and economy. Stay updated with current affairs and sharpen your skills with our Prelims test series consisting of 50 full-length tests covering all subjects along with CSAT. Join ProdEgyIAS and stay ahead.